Welcome back to watching Business Morning here on Channels Television. Let's celebrate with Zenith Bank now after they launch a new branch in Manchester, expanding their footprint in the United Kingdom in what business leaders describe as a strong signal of confidence in the Nigeria-UK economic relationship. The opening drew governors, regulators, business leaders, investors from both countries and beyond, with the bank also hinting at bigger international ambitions, including London Stock Exchange listing.
With the ribbon cutting, Zenith Bank PLC marks the opening of its new branch in Manchester as it expands its footprint in the United Kingdom. In her opening remarks, Group Managing Director and CEO Dame Dr. Adora Umeoji described the launch as a major milestone while also celebrating the bank's founder and chairman.
Zenith Bank was established over 35 years ago by our visionary founder and chairman, Dr. Jimovia. His foresight and leadership has shaped the institution into the financial powerhouse it has become today. He built Zenith Bank on a solid tripod: people, technology, and service. And this is what has really made us to become one of the best banks in sub-Saharan Africa and globally. Based on this, his exceptional work, we are here today in Manchester. From inception of the bank, he has maintained the clear vision to build a global financial institution defined by service, innovation, value creation, strong corporate governance, and culture of excellence.
Representatives of both the President and the Vice President of Nigeria described the new Manchester office as a strong vote of confidence in the Nigeria-UK economic relationship.
This branch is not just a new location. It is a statement of confidence in the UK market, in Nigeria's UK relations, and in the future of African financial institutions globally. You're not just doing this for Nigeria, you're doing it for Africa.
Manchester is one of the United Kingdom's most vibrant and important commercial centres, and Zenith Bank's presence here places it firmly at the intersection of trade, investment, and quite significantly diaspora flows that we hope will define the next chapter of Nigeria-UK economic engagement.
Other goodwill messages at the event also highlighted the bank's role in supporting development and investment back home in Nigeria.
When I became the governor, I inherited a lot of debt and so many things. I didn't know where to start from. And it was my friend and my sister, the CEO, Mr. Adora, was the one that encouraged me that there's a way out. And they assisted me, and today I've moved Taraba State from where it was, from insecurity to a secure state. And I was able to, through the support of Zenith Bank, I was able to declare free education compulsory for primary and secondary school children from very poor homes.
The Manchester hub is expected to generate approximately 30 direct jobs. It will focus on delivering corporate banking, trade finance, and treasury services, particularly for businesses operating across the UK-Africa corridors.
The UK government is firmly committed to encouraging inward investment into all regions, and today's opening is exactly the kind of high-value investment we want to see. Zenith's continued expansion in the UK also reflects something much bigger: the deepening of economic relationships between the UK and Nigeria.
Beyond Nigeria and the United Kingdom, Zenith Bank operates in Ghana, Sierra Leone, Gambia, France, the United Arab Emirates, and China. Nigeria's second largest bank by market value is exploring a possible London Stock Exchange listing in 2027, a move that could further strengthen its long-term position in the UK. From London, Teniola Oyetayo for Channels Television News.
So, both from the private sector and the public sector, seems the ties between Nigeria and the UK is getting closer. And the biggest one, I believe, was from last week, after the meeting or during the meeting of the state visit of President Bola Tinubu there, the ports upgrade deal worth about £746 million. So let's explore that for a bit this morning. But first of all, let me give you some highlights of what that deal encompasses. Talking about that £746 million deal that's supposed to upgrade Nigeria's port. So it's worth £746 million. That's approximately $900 million, the US dollars. Export finance and infrastructural deal. That's what it's supposed to cover. It's supposed to affect the Lagos port complex in Apapa and Tinkan Island ports. It's supposed to modernize and rehabilitate port infrastructure in those areas. The financing is backed by UK Export Finance. It's expected to upgrade and reduce vessel turnaround times. It's supposed to introduce cargo handling equipment and digital systems. And then at least £236 million of the deal's value is to be directed to UK suppliers. I guess that's the part that's not very popular, but that's there too. £236 million of that 746 supposed to be directed to UK suppliers, supposed to benefit British industry. And guess what also? British Steel secured a record £70 million contract to supply 120,000 tons of steel pellets for the port's work. So you balance it, and let's see. In fact, I'm not a stakeholder in that maritime industry, but we have someone who is the principal consultant, International Trade Advisory Services Limited, Mr. Ibeke. Mr. Ibeke, good morning. Welcome to the program.
Thanks for having me.
I know you have more details than me. What did I miss there in the details in this port deal with the UK?
Well, you didn't actually miss much, but yes, Tinkan and Apapa port they are long overdue for upgrading. Like Apapa port was constructed in 1920. Then Tinkan port was 1977. So Apapa port, some of the structures that were built in 2020 are still there. They are being dilapidated and eroded.
So do you see this deal taking care of this issue?
Well, according to what we saw, according to the agreement, the deal will actually take care of the issue, because, yes, the port over the years has been neglected. Not only the Tinkan and Apapa, there is Port Harcourt port, there is Warri port, there is Calabar port. All the ports need upgrade. But the Tinkan and Apapa handles up to 70% of the import and export cargoes in Nigeria. So maybe that's why government decide to concentrate on the two ports.
Are you happy with this deal? Are you optimistic it's going to be fruitful and we will see changes?
If the money that is borrowed, because that money is a loan, because some people were calling it a deal, it is a loan. If the money is deployed actually to do what it was borrowed to be done, yes, I'm optimistic that Nigeria will get a mileage from that deal. Because number one is going, like you pointed out earlier, it's going to improve turnaround of cargoes. It's going to cut down the cost of port operations, which has been the major issue in Nigeria port system over the years. The cost of cargo clearance, the cost of doing business in the ports has been so high, higher than what is obtainable in other West African countries. So I'm optimistic that that upgrade will achieve reduction of cost of operation in our ports.
Okay, so when we see things like this, even from your tone, you're not overly confident that it's going to yield the results. What do you think can be put in place to achieve this? And let's also note that I guess one of the reasons they're calling it a deal and not totally a loan is that, for instance, we have £236 million that's supposed to be channeled back to the UK suppliers. And then we have the British Steel also. They are the ones that will supply. So part of that money is still going to pay. You understand? But what do you think can be put in place to at least get Nigeria benefiting from this?
The issue is that, yes, we are not happy that that money, especially because we have a Jokita steel. We have a Jokita steel, which is supposed to actually supply those steel requirements for that project. But the issue in Nigeria...
okay, all right. Sorry, Mr. Beke, please do hold your thoughts. Okay. For our DSTV viewers, we need to lead you to our Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. There's a stakeholders engagement for the Minister of Interior. That's happening in Abuja, and that's for our DSTV viewers. But all the viewers on other platforms, please stay here with us. And if you want to continue, you're on DSTV, you can go to our YouTube channel and just go to the platform there, and then you would see Business Morning. Please go ahead, sir.
So what happened between us and UK is not unusual. The railway contract, the Chinese railway contract between us and Chinese, it is the same thing. Chinese supplied all the requirements, all the things they needed, even those steels, those billets were supplied by the Chinese. So it has been like that all along. But the question is that, are we supposed to continue? The problem is that during maybe the conception of the deal, the government did not actually involve the technocrats, the people that will actually see those things that are going to work against Nigerian interests. But another issue is that we needed the money, we need the money. And the people putting the money forward said, look, this is how it's going to be. I don't know whether they left us with any option rather than accepting that, which is not actually also not too good for our country, for our development.
So what can we do now to make the most of what we have?
What we can do now to make sure that money is actually utilized for the purpose to actually upgrade those ports. The contractor, there have to be strict project monitoring. Then stakeholders engagement, because the stakeholders need to know the terms of the contract. Not the loan deal, but the contract between Nigerian Port Authority. We want to know the terms of the contract between Nigerian Port Authority and the contractor, because according to the contractor has already been nominated, which is IBT and the HFP construction company, to make sure that they deliver the contract according to the design, according to the cost, so
and
that
the timeline
and the timeline, which is very, very important. Strict monitoring to make sure that the work that they are being paid for is delivered.
But Mr. Beke, one thing just comes on my mind amidst all of this. When the deal was signed, we didn't hear much about the minister. Today, there are also talks about the single window platform. We don't hear much about the minister.
The Minister of Marine Economy?
Yes. Is he not supposed to be involved in this if we're talking about the port?
He's even supposed to sign the contract instead of the finance minister and the MPA managing director. But the issue is that, like, maybe during the negotiation, he was not the person that initiated the project. He was not the person that interacted with the financial vendors. So because of that absence of involvement, so he was not in a position to actually endorse the deal.
But when it comes to the operation of the port,
he is going to supervise it.
He's going to, so why can't he be part of the deal? I mean,
that is part
isn't that the norm?
That is part of the absurdity. That is part of the absurdity.
Honestly, well, we're going to hope, with that Nigeria is able to squeeze out the gains in all of this.
Yes, we are, but there is this contention about the neglect of other ports, and that which is very, very vital. Like, there is Calabar Port. It's a very, very modern port. That what it needs is capital dredging.
Go ahead, sir.
What it needs is capital dredging. What it needs to capital dredging to increase the draft, so that vessels will be coming freely to the port. So that's what he lacks now. Then the same thing Warri Port, dredging. Then there's this Port Harcourt Port, old Port Harcourt Port, that was built in 1921, that also needs this type of upgrade that we are doing in Lagos. Because we need to decentralize our cargo operations. Because if you concentrate everything in Lagos, there will still be congestion. And when there is congestion, it will increase cost. So for Nigerian economy to be competitive, especially manufacturing sector, we have to decentralize our cargo clearing system.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Okebeke, Principal Consultant, International Trade Advisory Service.